It's your boy Sunwa. Welcome back to another Actions Over Emotion podcast. Today I want to talk about the first thing you need to do to have personal progression. And this is one of the hardest things, or something when I heard it the first time, it didn't really make sense. But then when I heard it again, then it made sense. To progress within self, the first thing you have to do is forgive yourself. And when I heard that, what do you mean by forgive yourself? The thing is, whenever we want to start to do something, we get excited, we get motivated, and then we realize something. We realize that the things we were doing, the way that we were living, was not the way that we want to live now. And then we start to beat ourselves up, and from what started as positive that you want to make the change, you start beating yourself up because you realize that, why didn't I start sooner? I shouldn't have done this. And you start to just blame yourself and put all of this unnecessary load on top of yourself. There's a difference between realizing and understanding that the way that you were living and the things that you were doing may not have been the best, or may not be aligned with your goals now. You need to understand that this is the amazing thing about personal progression, that not at any given point are you going to think the way you think now forever. It constantly changes. That's why it's called progression. It's a constant movement, because the way you thought 5 years ago is completely different to the way that you think now. But 5 years ago, you thought that the way that you were thinking was the right way. That's the same thing with today. That we do things. I've done so many things in the past that I regret. I wish I could have started sooner. I wish I could have done things differently. But there's no point of wishing. It's just realizing that, all right, now I know that I don't want that. And what do I want? And let me work towards that. This is the thing. You don't realize that being in that place that you didn't want to be is one of the biggest blessings that you could have. And you might say to me, like, what do you mean it's one of the biggest blessings? I didn't ever want to have that. Understand, it's a big blessing, because the law of polarity is that you need to know what bad is to understand what good is. And you need to know what good is to know what bad is. And these are all things that flew over my head. I never used to understand it. What do you mean by bad? When you say, oh, I've had such a bad day today, it's because you know what a good day feels like. If you've never known what a good day feels like, or a bad day feels like, you just have a day. It's just neutral the whole time. So whenever you have a bad day, now you're focusing on working towards that good day, because now you know what a good day is like. But that good day can change. What is a good day to you? That's why there's not ever one given rule for everyone to follow. The question you need to ask yourself is, what fulfills me? What makes me content? And the answer to self-mastery is just self-confidence. That's the answer to what you want. You are your purpose. Everyone says, what is my purpose? You are your purpose. You will always need you for whatever you want to do. And that's the thing. We make it so materialistic. We make it so superficial, the things that we want. The things that you want are within you. That's why the answer is self-actualization and then self-transcendence. And these are like quotes that I never used to understand. I used to hear them, read them. Like, what does that mean? Self-actualization is self-honesty, is understanding, what do I need to change? And sometimes the truth isn't good. Sometimes the truth hurts. Most of the time the truth hurts. That's why whenever says someone something and you react to it, is because there's truth and because you care about that truth. So let me give you an example. If you're fat and I say that you're fat, that's going to bother you. If it bothers you, because there's some people that don't care. The reason they don't care is because they feel confident within themselves. It's not an area of change for them. It's either acceptance or change. They've just accepted it. They don't want to change it. But if you feel a type of way if someone says you're fat, then that's because you want to make a change. That means that you have been lying to yourself. Because if someone says to me, look at your fit body, I don't feel any type of way. It's either acceptance or change. I don't want to change it because I'm content with my body. Confidence. That's the thing. You want to be confident in all areas. So if there's an area that you don't feel confident in, you have to change it. I've mentioned this before. Acceptance or adjustments. There's certain things that you cannot change. Say for example, I cannot change that I have freckles. Back then when I was a kid, I used to hate my freckles. Now I've accepted it. There's certain things that you can't change. If you're born a certain way, things that you cannot change, these you have to accept. You build confidence. The reason that you don't accept it is because you're scared about what people think. There's a difference about caring about what people think and what you actually want. I was scared of being this insecure kid looking in the mirror because I knew I could do better. I knew that it was within me to make that change. And it all starts again, like I said, with that forgiving oneself and acceptance. Then you realize, now I know that's not what I want. This is what I want.